Alright, this is Skoggul here. I'm doing my third video log. So I'm now about just under 3 weeks into making videos. I've done 1080 carry videos now, and I think I've gotten a lot better at it. I think if people watch this that they're following me at all, I think I have 2 subscribers. I'm hoping to make that number grow. Maybe when the website comes out it'll be more popular. But for right now, it's still getting views. And my latest videos are much more in-depth, and I think I've broken them down better. I've taken out some of the stuff that's unnecessary, put in the good stuff. You can watch the gameplay. I know they're not full games, but I'm trying to focus on specific themes. I'm doing the theme of the laning phase, so I'll be doing mid-game, or the mid lane, next, and I'll make my first video tonight on that. And I'll be doing top lane after that, and then I'll be doing the jungle. And when those 4 early game laning phase themes are done, I'll probably start getting into either mid-game or matchups, because they're both intriguing subjects. In matchups, you have your bottom lane has so dynamic in matchups, because supports can counter carries, carries can counter supports, carries can counter other carries. The lane synergy, your lane synergy might matter more than their lane synergy, and just the knowledge of how to play against them. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a matchup-based thing or as a versus thing. Like, how do you go about beating an Urgot? How does one go about beating Graves? Maybe Graves is giving you trouble. Maybe you can't beat York in the top lane. And I'm going to try to dig out as much information as I can and watch the 2K ELO games until I have a good, valid video produced solution. I just think videos and watching it means more than me typing in block after block of text that you're bored of reading, that tries to explain it when a video shows it very quickly. The other thing I'm doing right now, we're a little bit slow on the site because we have finals and stuff coming up. Everyone's got stuff they're doing, so it's going to be a little bit more. The following week, I hope to have all my rules and goals posted on the front page of the site, and I'll probably make a video broadcasting what we're working on and different features of the site that may be done, and things we're doing next, and our ultimate goals. So I guess that would be 3, something like that, videos I could make, put them up on the website, and then I'll have all my videos there as well. I'll have them tagged basically by what the video teaches and by the champion, more so, and by the lane. So those will be the 3 different tags to sort and make it easier to find things, because maybe I can show the same concepts from a top lane, like brush control works in the bottom lane, or avoiding ganks, or lane control, how to keep the creeps where you want them, and you dictate what the pace of the lane. And you can do that in 3 ways. You can be the aggressor, push their tower, make them farm under the tower. You can be passive, allowing for more ganks to your lane, or you could always go ahead and run the match their strategy to take away what they're trying to do. They're trying to push, then push. If they want to play passive, don't push, because they want to be forced back so that they're not gankable. You can kind of read what they're doing, and that will line up with what I try to do. And I do this when my gameplay. I try to click on them and decide, okay, if they have no AD, they're probably running armor pen, they want to kill me. So I should play passive and make them push, or at least try to play passive with me, not push out to their tower where they can have a full go at me. So I try to match what's going on, and on a lane like that. Now, if they have a ton of AD and sustain, I read how they're playing. Are they playing passive to farm? You might be able to get some kills if you get them too extended. You might be able to push them under the tower, make it hard. There's just different goals you can have. And you can always set your own agenda and practice certain styles. Do I want to practice being aggressive, practice being passive, and practice matching? It's a good habit to know how to do all of them. And then when you get in certain situations, you'll know how to respond properly. You'll do a good job of responding, not a bad job of responding. The other thing in my gameplay I'm testing some things. I'm not the inventor of this, but I have seen a lot more use out of some GP10 items in wrecking mid-game and late game by playing passive early. At first, let me explain. I used to do very aggressive early, armor pen, get some kills, beat them up, make them intimidated, and occasionally you run into a player who can stop you and beat you, or you get jungle camped, and you might be super aggressive, but they catch you, you're out of position, you're invading their jungle, you're doing it's Darian from M5 that does it. I saw him, I wanted to try it. I tried it for a long time. It works more often than not. I'd say I win 60%, 70% of those lanes, and I aggressively shut down their jungler a lot, but I do get caught. And I saw another tactic, and people who are good at this, I don't know if you follow the professional scenes, but Link runs a lot of GP10 items on his mids, and it's like GP10 makes a support viable late game. So a GP10 item on a carry makes sure you cannot get shut down. So I've been running like even Renekton. I took Renekton, and he's one of those early stompers. He can farm. I ran GP10 Quints, 21 in the Mastery Tree, Teleport Flash, and was able to outfarm my opponent instead of going for the kills. He's afraid I'm going to go for the kills, so what does he do? He's scared a little bit. I'm Renekton. So what does he do? He passively lets me win and farm, and then I took an Avarice Blade and a Heart of Gold early, my first two items. I didn't get double Dorns or Brutalizer. I then built Brutalizer, and then I built a Black Cleaver. And by the time I had Brutalizer, Black Cleaver, I was going against the Pantheon, and they had ganked me about 5 or 6 times. But let me explain the process a little bit, and you'll see why I came out ahead. I only died to the ganks once. We ganked, and I died in an exchange of kills the second time, so I had died twice in the laning phase, and I hadn't actually killed him. It was my mid that killed him. And so it looks like I'm down because I'm 0-2, and he's 1-1. No, he's 2-1. But I had him by about 40, 50 CS because he was passive and less getting ganks. And I avoided a lot of his ganks. I keep warded probably better than most people. I do a tactic by going 21 in Masteries. I start boots, 2 pots, and a ward. And the thing is about the meta right now is every good jungler advises every jungler out there to abuse top. And so if you're going top, I think it's very essential you start with that ward. You still have 2 pots, so they have a 1 pot advantage. I think just early base if you have to. Push out and leave and base. They can't take down your tower at level 3, so don't worry about it. They're not even going to try. They're going to be afraid they're being baited. There's so many things, and they won't succeed if they do try. So what I do, and I'm not telling you you have to, but I get a ward, and after the first wave, I try to push it out faster than him, so that when the second wave comes, I can do the I level up first thing. And the other part about that is you're Renekton or you play an aggressive like Riven or Olaf, and they're a little bit scared, you try to kill them. So I run backwards out of their vision, they run down and put a ward in the river so that he can't come into the brush or go up to that tri-brush. If he goes to the tri-brush, he has to go through the mid, into my jungle and around. And a lot of junglers don't have the balls to do that at level 2. And so what I have effectively done is cut off the most likely 2 routes he can go to get behind me. And so now I can play a little bit more aggressive in the laning phase, try to keep my farm up. My whole goal is to get farm because I have GP10 Quints and the GP10 in the Masteries. And if I can, I run experience on him, he doesn't need some of the other stuff. So I run the experience. And my goal is to get ahead in levels and to get 2 quick GP10 items. And it actually is not very hard to accomplish. I can get the gold for the first one and a ward, base, come back in lane with maybe a couple pots again, and I can get it rewarded. And their success on ganking me, I think Shen came 6 times in the first 6 levels, and they got me once. And if you've ever been camped on top, to come away with only 1 death is a very big plus. And then I had the GP2 GP10s ticking away, and I had him in farm. So it ended up that at the end of this game, it was like a 27-minute surrender because by the time we were team fighting, I was destroying people with your Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver with Renekton, your W does an on-hit effect, so you can just throw up all 3 stacks on someone. Your AD carry, you and your jungler are just destroying this person if you have an AD jungler. And it's pretty amusing to watch the destruction level. Like, even if you just jump onto their tank, a tank at mid-game does not have a ton of armor. A tank at mid-game has some armor. So even if he's at 100, I take 15 in armor pen, and then I take a Black Cleaver, so that's 45, you're at 60. I have my Brutalizer, so I'm at 75. And that's just, if he had 100, if he has a chain shirt, he now has Chainshur and Ninja Tabi. He's now sitting at like 25. He's as squishy as an 80 carry. And the best part about it is the Black Cleaver's armor shred. So my 80 carry is also wrecking them. It just lets you make plays. And as long as you run teleport, you can pretty much say that you own Dragon, because you can go down and you can base when it's an appropriate time to base, ask your team, ping it a bunch of times, run straight for Dragon. You have a 5-on-4, and you can teleport top before they can take your tower. So I like to run teleport in this system, because the other thing is, if I do get ganked and killed early, I can teleport back out. I have gold pretend ticking, and I have my experience buff, and as long as I'm not out of lane for too long, I'm fine. You can also set up kills if your teammates ward properly. You can jump clear down a bottom lane, and with that Black Cleaver, they're not going to live. You hit them, and your carry and you are basically doing true damage to an 80 carry. So that's just a concept and a thought I've been playing with. We've also played with the Youmuu's Ghostblade upgrade. Get a second Brutalizer. You can strip so much armor that way. And the other part is, there's not a lot of options on, say, Renekton or some of these manaless people to have a lot of CDR. A lot of the CDR is built into other things. And I think, or even on the 80 carry, the 80 carry meta right now is to build Glass Cannon. The thing is, the people who tell you to do that are very, very good at positioning. So if you're not an awesome 80 carry good at positioning, consider some different strategies. One, CDR. CDR will let your escape move, most champions have them, come up faster, and you can get back in position easier. The second thing is to run a Wriggles Lantern. Wriggles Lantern does a few things at once. One, it makes your farming easier, lets you be able to jungle. Number two, it lets you have Dragon and Baron control on your team if your jungler and or top do it. If you have 3 Wriggles on your team, it's amazing how fast you tear down Baron. They make one mistake, ping Baron, go do it, 3 Wriggles, you'll take it. Dragon's the same way. If your 80 carry has a Dragon or a Wriggles and their 80 carry does not, you suddenly have an awesome control. Also in solo queue, does anyone really go into a game, unless you're at least 1600 elo, saying, my support will do a good job of warding? I trust him. I don't. If you play normal queue, normal draft, doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter. Even at 1600, you're kind of like, really? I'm not sure if he will. But now you grab a Wriggles, you have a ward. You can either get brush control, or you can get at least the one ward out where you can see them coming through the river. Even if your jungler doesn't do a good job besides that. It gives you extra vision, and it doesn't cost you anything. So that's what, and it gives you that armor. That armor is so important. If you want to win your lane at 80 carry and it's hard, the armor from a Wriggles and the sustain from a Wriggles can give you that win, can give you that edge. The other item is Frozen Mallet, because let's be honest, until you're at least 1600 elo, it might even be 1800 elo before I've seen this pick up, is peeling divers off your 80 carry. Teams are bad at that. They think the only way they can be viable or good at this game is to be the carry, and they try to carry with champions that aren't really carry champions. Like, when you play a bruiser, one of your top jobs could possibly be to protect your AD carry or your AP carry, but you want to be the hero, you want to kill them. So you dive their guy, they dive yours. All the carries go down, and all of a sudden no one can accomplish an objective after the fight. Even if it was 2-2, like you both killed the carries, it did nothing. So the Frozen Mallet allows you to self-peel. It gives you tankiness, especially combined with the Wriggles, and you can get a Quicksilver Sash, you can get a Guardian Angel. There's different things you can do for the magic resist. If their AP carry is scary, if he's not scary, forget about it and just stop the ADs. And run that Frozen Mallet. That Frozen Mallet will lock them down so that you can kite them. You'll probably get kills on Irelia or these different champions instead of dying to them, because they're just not ready for an AD carry in that range to have this perma-slow. So, say you're Graves, you hit them with the slow, they're going to be affected by the slow. What do? Well, as soon as they're affected, you're back a little bit, dash away, and then you just shoot and back up, and they have to use their abilities to even have a chance of staying with you. So it's a very effective tactic. It can get you out of a lot of scary situations, and you're not a squishy. They're not going to jump on you and insta-kill you and like they think they're going to, and it's pretty awesome feeling when you turn around, and then if they turn to run, they can't. So you have that advantage. So it's just a concept. Anyhow, I'll talk to you again next week. That was all I had for today. Take care and good luck on your games.